Is he still here?
Hey, what's good?
What's good with you, bro? Prodigy, what's up?
Amazing class today. You got me cracking up today, man.
Praise
Some of the
God.
stuff you've been saying. I got a question about something that you were saying about like how you don't want to be like at a pagan party with people like celebrating pagan things because it doesn't sit right with you.
Yeah, like
I was wondering.
I don't really like to you know, be around people that doing stuff like that. And I'm not saying anything against anybody else who does. You follow what I'm saying? I'm just like, that's just me. Like I don't really like to try to fall in too tough with that. That's just me though.
Yeah, I was wondering like as a believer, if you were to do something that doesn't sit with you, like it doesn't say anything in the Bible about it being wrong, but it doesn't sit right with you, is that a sin?
No, it's not a sin, right? The Bible says where there is no law, sin is not imputed. I mean, you can't count something as a sin if there's no law that says it's wrong. But if something doesn't personally sit well with you, that's your conscience and that's your conviction. So you shouldn't do it if it just personally doesn't sit well with you. You're just going to be uncomfortable and you're not going to
Okay.
enjoy yourself.
Okay. And then my next question is okay, so I know in the Bible it says we're not supposed to use offensive language, but I was thinking like, because
Mm-hmm.
today people take offense to like things that aren't really bad. Like, if you were to call somebody like who's medically like diagnosed retarded, if you were to like use that word, but somebody would take offense to it, would that be counted as sin?
If somebody is truly offended by a word that you are using in an offensive way, that would be a sin. If there's a medical condition, like for instance, calling somebody fat, believe it or not, y'all, fat is a medical term, just like obese. You call somebody obese, that's offensive. You call a woman obese, that's a fight, almost guaranteed. If she says she's offended by that, then you're not sinning if that's just the medical term for to describe somebody who got overweight, right? But if you're using a term that's not really a medical term and you're just trying to be hurtful about her weight and she's offended by that, then you are sinning because you're causing her to be offended.
Okay, so if I was to use like if I was to call somebody stupid because they were being stupid, but they take offense to that, it's not a sin.
No, it's only offensive to
Okay,
call somebody stupid and they're offended by it if they're not actually stupid or didn't do anything stupid and you're just calling them stupid.
okay. Versus if I was to like use an F bomb or something, that would be a sin if they took offense to that because it's
Yes,
not necessary.
yes, that would be a sin if they took offense to that. That's why when some people get on here and they curse, you ever notice I don't get mad at them, right? Because I don't take offense to what people call today curse words. But I'm not gonna let somebody come on here and curse me out or curse one of y'all out. Like some people don't come on here and they drop the S word, right? That's not a sin. It's only a sin if it's something you're saying that you don't have to say and it's offending people. Like you don't have to use that type of language to get your point across. That's just offensive. That's what it's really called. It's really people call it curse words. Some people say swear words. That's not the definition of a curse word. Means a word that curses people. That's what it literally means. When the Bible talk about curse words, it don't mean you dropping the F bomb or the S word. It means you're literally cursing people. When it says a swear word, a swear is like an oath. And the reason why swears got associated with curses is because if you did not, if you just make it, if you swore, that's like making an oath. If you made an oath and you didn't keep it, a curse came, and that's when curse started becoming associated with the word swear. So when you see little kids say, "Ooh, you said a swear word," no, I didn't. I didn't swear to nobody. Ooh, you said a curse word. No, I didn't. I didn't curse anybody. You said a bad word. Subjective. You said an offensive word. There you go. That's called offensive language. That's what that's called.
Mm.
And you don't use offensive language like words if people are offended by it. If we was in a group of people and you were dropping an F bomb and nobody was sensitive to that in the congregation, like listening, like you just dropping F bombs and nobody like, what the heck? What are you doing? Blah 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 blah. Then I wouldn't say nothing. But I would probably still, but this is a public platform, and I still advise you not to because everybody don't understand that. Somebody new come here, what kind of congregation we in? They just dropping F bombs left and right. You feel me?
Okay, and what you just said, I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about that. Like, if we use like hell or like damn, like how you just said, like what the hell, wouldn't it be okay since those are like words in the Bible used in the Bible?
Those are Bible words, right? If I say hell no, who got a problem with saying no to hell? If I ask you, do you want to go to hell, and you say no, that's hell no right there.
Okay, because with words like that, I was just thinking like it's okay to say them. Just watch how you say it. Like you don't want to say like hell yeah or like stuff like that because you don't want to say yes to hell.
I wouldn't go into a kindergarten class, and I wouldn't go into no nursery school or no elementary school saying hell no and stuff like that. You got to kind of like gauge your audience, right? Some people, they are sensitive. Like when I called the guy earlier, I called him a pussy, and I meant in the context of being a scaredy cat. I said, you're scared to come on here. I said, your thumbnail is a great representation of who you are because you're acting like a pussy. If you look up the word pussy in the dictionary, it literally means cat. In fact, the whole word is pussy cat. But his mind went to the gutter because he's thinking of the other uses for it. But I made it clear before I even used it. I said your thumbnail perfectly reflects how you're acting. He had a cat for his thumbnail, and that's why I even made the distinction. If he had like a female's crouch or something there, and I called him that, then he could say I was being vulgar, right? And that would have been wrong. But I wasn't doing that. I was talking about with a cat. Y'all can look this stuff up. There's a song right now, and this is so funny. It's amazing how words evolve. It's an old cartoon. Y'all remember the cartoons back in the day where they had these two cats singing to each other. It's a black and white cartoon. And I ain't even gonna sing the song because it'll just go left. But I'm gonna find the link and I'm gonna send it to y'all. But basically, he was singing to this cat. I sing the song, but I say cat instead of the word he was using. He said, "Oh, pretty kitty, what a pretty little kitty you are. Oh, you're such a pretty kitty." But he was saying the other word. But that song came out like in the 40s. And back then, that word was acceptable as a synonym for cat. Nobody looked at it as a perverted way. People give bad meanings to everyday words, and now when you say it now, oh my God, right? It's the same thing with the word gay. Gay did not always mean homosexual. Gay just meant happy. It's even in the Bible, the word gay. James uses it. Did you know that?
I don't think I knew that.
Let me go ahead and pull it out for you. We're going to get some context today. Y'all want to see that? Did anybody else know that? Let me know in the chat if y'all already knew that.
I knew gay meant like happy, but I didn't know it was in the Bible, I don't think.
Go to James chapter 2, verse 3. Read that for me, please, Isaiah. In the King James.
James chapter 2, verse 3. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in the good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
So James is telling us don't show favoritism. Don't say to the guy wearing the gay clothing, you can sit in the good spot, and the guy wearing the poor clothes, you sit in the bad. But he used the word gay. You know it don't mean homosexual right there. Right, Isaiah?
The good. Yeah, I know it doesn't mean homosexual.
Right. But during the time when the King James Version was being translated, gay was not used to mean homosexual. Like the word faggot. Y'all know faggot just originally referred to a bundle of sticks. Did you know that?
No.
It is a bundle of sticks. And over in London, it refers to a cigarette. Like you say, you smoking a faggot. Have nothing to do with homosexuality. It's talking about a cigarette. See, people will assign slurs to the meaning of words, and now when you use it now, I use stuff in its original context and the way it's still being used today. That's in the dictionary. Look up the P word. Look it up. Don't get mad at me, young people. Every time you hear that word, your mind go to the gutter. I made it strict that I'm talking about cats. That's what it means when you call people that. See, people think when you call a guy a pussy, oh, you're talking about the no. It comes from the sense of being a scaredy cat. It's just another way of calling him a scaredy cat. That's all it means. Y'all have heard of a scary cat before, right, man? You a scaredy cat. You have heard of that before, haven't you, Isaiah?
Yeah.
So when you call them that, that's just another way of you calling them a scaredy cat. That's all that means. But y'all be making stuff worse than what it is.
So it really comes down to like what context you use it, like how you use it.
Yeah, and that what makes it offensive or not. Now I wouldn't be out here using that word in front of y'all in the context of talking about the female genitalia. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that. I use the scientific term, and I don't even use that. I don't even say that. I say Virginia. You know what I'm saying? I say Virginia. That's what I like to say. That just sounds stupid. So that's why I use it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what that's what it is. I got a whole class on that too about like what's really offensive or abrasive language. We need to learn what that is. And we need to also learn that no matter what kind of language you use, somebody is going to be offended. So what you want to do is not use unnecessarily offensive language. But I'm not gonna change my language if it has a definite definition. It's in the dictionary and I'm using it the way the dictionary uses it. That's the most you're gonna get out of Brother Josh. I'm not gonna change something up because you mad at a word that's in the dictionary. So is cursing a sin overall? Only actual cursing. Which means putting the curse on somebody.
Okay. And my next question is, well, I guess I just want you like clarification. I was working on my presentation video. I was doing a video on the Matrix.
Ooh.
And it was on the Sabbath. And I was wondering, would that be sinning if I was working on that video? I was thinking it was okay because I was trying to point out the Bible in it.
No, like I said, so if it pertains to you spreading His word and stuff like that, it's not a sin. If you're doing it for God, because this is literally a Bible presentation you're about to do, right? If it's for God and it pertains to the word, it's not a sin. If you're doing it on the Sabbath, right? You can use whatever tools you want to try to get that point across, right? But if you just doing a breakdown on the Matrix in general and it ain't have nothing to do with the word, then no, you don't do stuff like that on the Sabbath.
Okay.
You know, any form of work. You know what I'm saying? Right? But we need to understand, like, we don't, as Christians, we're not supposed to try to offend anybody unnecessarily. You know, we're supposed to try not to do that. You're not going to always be successful. You know, you may do it by accident or you might just dealing with some super sensitive people, but you don't want to try to do that. Paul said that he'd stop eating meat altogether. He'd never eat meat again if it meant him not sinning against his brother and causing him to sin. That's how we're supposed to be looking at it. But I'm not going to let some Johnny come by lately come in here and start trying to tell me what's offensive to them. Like if it's one of y'all and y'all are like generally offended by something that I don't have to do, then I'm going to stop doing that for y'all. Because I care about y'all. But somebody just passing by, I don't like you doing that. Dude, you're not even one of my peeps. I don't care. You're not going to come here and dictate my life and tell me how to move. You don't support me. You don't listen to me. You don't give me no donations. I don't care what you think. But I would take y'all feelings into consideration. You follow what I'm saying? I would definitely do that. Because that's how we're supposed to be. Because if you start trying to pander to everybody, before you know it, you won't be able to say stuff that you are allowed to say. Look what they're saying right now. You can't even, they don't even want you saying the word, you know, you got to say sexual assault. You can't even say that. You got to say the R word. You follow what I'm saying? I don't know why you can't say it. rape. That's what happens to people, right? They said you can't even say that. Why? Because that's emotionally insensitive to anybody that ever happened to, Isaiah. So now it's getting to the point where they got you walking on eggshells. I will never be living my life like that. So if what I'm saying is too brittle, if it's too much for your brittle ears, then find somebody else to listen to. But one thing about the Bible don't cut no corners, man. The Bible don't care about how we feel. God don't care about your feelings, man. That's just the way that is. And his prophets didn't either. Prophets were annoying. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that prophets were annoying? Prophets were super annoying. Prophets show up right outside your job, loud. Right outside your job, loud. Hey, you need to stop doing that. You're a sinner. I'm gonna do a class on that, man. Prophets were annoying, man. Like, that's why they used to kill them. That, and they didn't like what they were saying. But does it answer your question right there, Mr. AC?
Indeed, it does. I got one last question I want to ask you.
Go ahead.
So I've been recently looking at books about psychology. I was wondering if you had any personal recommendations.
No, I don't have any personal books. I used to when I was taking psychology, because when you take the courses, they make you purchase the actual books, right? Oh, and by the way, y'all, Brother Josh been thinking about going back and finishing his psychology degree. You follow what I'm saying? And I have been testing out my stuff, right? It's a sister. I ain't gonna put her business out there, but she's actually seeing a shrink, right? And I gave her a diagnosis about herself before she went to her shrink, and she went back to her shrink, and she didn't bring my name up. The shrink just made the exact same diagnosis about her that I made. And I told her, I said, your insurance probably charged you $200 to $400 for that one session, something that I just told you last week for free. So I definitely know what I'm talking about. When I do these sessions and stuff, my stuff be on point. I told her that before she went and talked to her. She was already seeing the therapist. She was already seeing them, right? So when she went back, she goes once a month. So when she went back, I had told her something. I said, yo, I think you're dealing with this. You might want to work on this, whatever. Went to the therapist, hit me back. My therapist said that, what you told me. She didn't mention me, just said what you just told me. It's the same thing. It's the same problem I got. I said, I told you my stuff be on point. So I know my psychology just like I know this Bible. So when I be getting these count, and that was the proof right there. Even though I'm not certified, that was the proof right there that my diagnoses are still on point. You don't got to be certified. You just got to know what you're talking about. That's all you got to do. So I say all that, Isaiah, that when I said I was thinking about going back to school, what I can do is I can go online and whatever course I'm going to take, I can see what books are required for that course, and I can get those book titles to you. Because that would be what I would recommend that you read.
I appreciate that.
Or you can take a shortcut and just Google whatever particular topic you're talking about. I saw this dictionary I had a long time ago as a PDF. I don't even know if I got it anymore. But it was the dictionary of psychology, and this sucker had every term, every diagnosis, symptoms. You know what I'm saying? I found the PDF when I looked it up online. That book was like worth $400, and I had found the PDF of it. You follow what I'm saying? But you might want to consider going into the field of psychology, Isaiah. You might be somebody therapist one day.
I was thinking about that college.
What are you, 16, 15? What are you?
I'm 15. I'll be 16 in like a week.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We need more. We need more, and enough people don't go to therapy. I'm telling you, man. Y'all take these counseling sessions, man. We be talking about some stuff. I got 2 counseling sessions coming up this week. I keep telling y'all, man. Y'all sit down and talk to you, boy. We'll hash it out. We'll work it out, man. That's what I'm here to do. Y'all like, man, $120 an hour, yeah. But the average therapist charge $200 an hour, 180 or 200. And if they really good, if like they consider the best, like one of the best in their field, you paying about $250, $400 a session. That's what you paying. I charge 120, and I can teach you about the Bible and stuff too at the same time. And I get results. Ain't nobody ever came back one time, praise God, and said, Josh, your advice throw me off. In fact, I don't even just give advice. I be making predictions. They'll tell you. I be making predictions. I be telling people exactly what other people gonna do. And in the next session, they come back and say, man, she did exactly what you said she was gonna do. So I be giving away cheat sheets. I'm telling y'all, man, like, take advantage. It'll be the best 120 you ever spent. Or not. You know? You can just get the little bits and pieces of info you get on the Sabbath. I be giving all that advice then too. Right? So, just something for y'all to think about. But we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Appreciate you. It's 12:40. I'm gonna get y'all to close this out with a prayer. Before we do, I'm gonna do something I ain't did in a while. I gotta give a shout out to my donors. I'm gonna try to go through this as soon as possible. We got Ben Trey Reed,